Hi, everybody. My name is Adam Stein, and I'm an elder here in the Genesis Conference. And I'm also a listening elder, and I want to talk to you about that for a couple of minutes today. Just this past weekend, we were talking in church about the fact that we all deal with temptation in one form or another. And to echo the sentiments from the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians 10, that if we think we're standing firm and there are no pitfalls that we could potentially fall into as we go through life, then we just need to be careful that we don't fall into them. But if you do fall into one of those traps, if you do find that you've given into the temptation to sin, or even that the recurring temptation to sin is something that's become more than you feel like you can handle, we have people in the Genesis Conference who are willing to help you, people who have agreed to serve as listening elders. A listening elder is a pastor who you can approach to confess the sin in your life. And in many cases, you can work with that person to develop a plan for restoration. We currently have 2 men and 2 women who are serving as listening elders. And you're encouraged to reach out to the one that you most feel comfortable working with. Now, the restoration plan that your listening elder develops for you and with you will include regular discipleship conversations with them. It will include safeguards and accountability that's put in place to help you resist the temptation to continue in that sin. It would include referrals to support or recovery groups as needed, and other components that are deemed necessary to help you follow Jesus and lead your ministry more faithfully. The time frame for a restoration plan is really dependent on the benchmarks that are set for you in your restoration and how long it takes to complete them. But it all starts with you being honest with the Lord about what's happening in your life, and then being honest with one of us about it. I will share with you the process of restoration. It's work, and it can be humbling to have to confess your sin to one of your peers. But I just want you to know that taking this path is so much better than the alternatives, which might be continuing in sin as you attempt to serve the Lord, or waiting until the sin is discovered and it becomes a matter of discipline between you and your church and the conference. So I just want to finish today by sharing with you that I'm currently working with a pastor as a listening elder. And I can say with confidence that when this process, this plan is executed well, when it's trusted and the Lord is honored in it, it can be really productive and effective. Since this person has followed their conviction to reach out to a listening elder to confess their sin and bring it to light, this pastor has seen the Spirit of God moving in every area of life in some really remarkable ways. Long-term prayers are being answered, new strength and energy are being imparted, and strongholds are being broken. I mean, come on, we all want that in our lives, in our ministry. And so if you want your prayers and your ministry to be more powerful and more effective than they are today, then maybe it's time for you to follow the wisdom that's given to us in James chapter 5. Confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed.